What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good morning, everybody. I am your host, Love Coach Scott Katamas, here to bring you the Awakening World, our Sacred Sunday edition. And welcome, everybody. It's good to see many of our favorite friends are in the Zoom room already. And I want to welcome those of you that are watching on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you to John and Summer Raymer with the Sign Network. That gets us out to as many as 100 Facebook groups and pages. So it's really, really fun, all of the new friends that we get to meet that way. And if you are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, I want to invite you to come on into our Zoom room because we have some really wonderful guests, and there's always an opportunity to ask questions. And we want you to have the global people. And so it's really easy to do that. What you're going to do is go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register. And you'll see right down here, it says register for the new fall season, fall for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. You click it, and that takes you to our registration page. Now, you're going to get the links to all of our shows for the rest of the year. And we do 3 shows every year. 3 shows every week. Feels like that. And the shows are great. And these are all some of the guests that you're going to see, some of our co-hosts. On Friday night of this weekend, we had Montauk Chia on the show. Last night, we had this amazing group of psychics and also musical artists. And of course, this is today's show. And these are the guests that you're going to be seeing today. So by registering, you get the links to all of our shows and you get access to the replays. Every Monday, we send out an email with all of our replays. And we've done 500 shows. So there's a lot of replays you can always go back and watch. There's a lot going on with the Global Peace Tribe, including we are about to have our first retreat. It's taking place in less than 2 weeks in Sedona, Arizona. And that's what today's show is all about. You're going to get a chance to meet some of the wonderful presenters and friends who are going to be in Sedona, including the wild mystic abbot, our beloved Jerry Anderson, who goes back and forth between his ecclesiastical nation that he runs in Puerto Rico, 10,000 acres of pristine land. But he's going to be with us in Sedona. And it turns out he lived in Sedona, knows many magical places, and is taking us to a special cave while we're there. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. And our cosmic concierge who lives in Sedona is Luana, and we're going to get to know her today, which is really, really exciting. And I forgot to mention my co-host, Krista.
Good morning.
Krista is coming to Sedona. She's going to be leading some wonderful events. We're going to hear all about what she's going to be leading, and her partner will be joining us. And Andrew and Connie will be there. We love Andrew and Connie, and they've been with the Global Peace Tribe from the very, very, very beginning. They're in the Hamptons now, but they're going to be making their way out to Sedona. And we always have music with our beloved Omar Shar. He's here, and we'll have at least a couple songs from Omar Shar. And making her debut with the Awakening World, this is Wowza. And Wowza is going to wows us all, including starting with on Sundays. We always have to start with an opening meditation, a chance to slow down, which is good for me to do, and to drop in. And Wowza, welcome. And please lead us in an experience.
That's a good thing to start. The divine sigh of release and opening. We are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening to the one heart, the one mind, the one being that is in every one of us. How extraordinary to realize we are entangled with a loving, conscious universe. There is only this extraordinary love we are all a part of. And as we open to these little squares with the one in every one, can we just take a quick, just that weave in that one row, can't quite see the eyes, but to just feel the one eye seeing us all. How extraordinary. To be here now in this moment of moments with all eyes upon us, with the world behind us, above us, around us, and through us. And a universal nature now. Let us honor the awakening of our ecology of being. We are the ecology of being. To take care of nature as our nature, as our extended body in nature, as nature. Blessings and praises to the one loving universe.
Beautiful. I'm going to go to gallery view. Let's all twinkle. Wowza. What a beautiful. Yeah. That was awesome. All right, Omar Shar.
Beloved one, please hold me in your arms, supporting me, 'cause we have traveled so far, earth and star, we the one desire unfolding the one true love, evolving, 'cause we have traveled so far, earth and star, we are earth and star, we are. And we feel it deep within, we know it in our hearts, we can bear the pain of separation no more. So come on, come and join us, here's a taste of what will come. When you let go, give in to the one. The sacred heart is pulsing, radiant light, revealing, 'cause we have traveled so far, earth and star, we are earth and star, we are. And we feel it deep within, we know it in our hearts, we can bear the pain of separation no more. So come on, come and join us, here's a taste of what will come. When you let go, give in to the one. When you let go, give in to the one. We are earth and star, 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 we are. We have traveled so far.
Ooh, yeah.
I love that one. That is just such a, that's like the new theme song for Global Peace Tribe.
It's beautiful. There's actually another chorus, another verse. It says, "Innocent child returning, pure and clear emerging." But at this time, my voice isn't warmed up, and it's a really high song for me. So I truncated it because my voice was going ah.
You know, the line that stood out for me is, "We can bear the pain of separation no more."
It's so true. We feel it deep within, and we know it in our hearts. And even though we keep on going out into the world to try and fix that, it's only by going within that we can sort it and joining. And so come on and join us. Here's a taste of what will come when you let go, give in to the one.
Yeah. How beautiful it is to have all of us coming together and in community, which is what today's show is all about. A reminder that we love supporting Omar Shah by going to get his music. And he's on all the major ones, but he especially likes us to go to Bandcamp. So if you go to omarshar.com, scott.bandcamp.com. That's where you can buy his albums. And he's got several wonderful albums there. And it's a beautiful way to support our brother.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Namaste and aloha, everybody.
And we're going to be together in person. That's what the show is all about in Sedona. And Omar Shah will be there. Yeah, so that's going to be exciting.
Blessings.
I want to bring on my co-host, Krista Collins. Hi, Krista.
Hi, good morning. So great to be here today and to have this beautiful conversation with so many that are supporting the first annual Global Peace Tribe retreat in Sedona. So we're all here together today and just bringing this message out to the world of, you know, what we're creating and what your vision is, Scott, for not only this community, but beyond, those that we are reaching and bringing together through this, and you know how it's all amplified when we come together in person. There's so much power in presence, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is kind of today's people getting to know everyone a little bit better. Now, we've seen you, probably almost all of our regulars have seen you on multiple shows, including last night. But I'd love for you to share a little bit that we don't know about you. Yeah, surprise, surprise, surprise.
I'm in the hot seat. Okay.
You're on the hot seat. What's something that you can share with us about your life that you haven't shared previously on one of our broadcasts?
Well, I guess what's coming to me right now is just because I'm seeing that wonderful background about your relationship satsang that you had started here in October, and I joined it last year, and I would love to talk about relationship for just a moment. How does that sound?
Perfect.
Okay. So what do I want to bring around this? What I'd love to bring is that the importance of relationship and navigating the way we interact, the way that we show up, not only for ourselves, but for each other, is really part of our mastery. And Scott, I know you teach about relationship all the time. So this is the core of, you know, what you bring and help support people to interact with joy and interact with peace and understanding and compassion. So, you know, in my lifetime, I've had so many opportunities to work on my own mastery around this. And you know, starting with the relationship I've had with my parents, right? We all have that initial relationship when we come into this world, and just seeing the way that my relationship with them has evolved and has turned into such a beautiful thing over all the years, to the point where I'm actually living with them now for a chapter and moved back to the Midwest to be near them. And, you know, I love to bring that when we change, others change around us. All of a sudden, all these dynamics start changing. And I've also had the relationship with, you know, former partners that have helped me evolve. And, you know, I made the decision at a very young age, at around 20, to get married. And that relationship was a very short-lived relationship, but it was one that's been one of my biggest teachers. So even though for those 2 or 3 years, it was a really, you know, tumultuous time in my life, I can look back now, you know, 20 years ago and say, wow, that really set me on the trajectory of my own healing journey in my life. So the message I'd love to bring, and just to share that with you, and, you know, and I haven't actually been in a partnership in almost 12 years. I've really been in this relationship with myself. The last 10, I've had a few relationships since that. But knowing that every relationship, whether it's with self, whether it's with parents and family, or whether it's with, you know, partners, that they all teach us something. And it's really our choice, if we want to receive that lesson, to receive the gift of what each dynamic brings us. And I'm just so grateful that I have this tribe that through the pandemic, I was able to connect with people online when I felt very alone in my ability to receive support in my own awakening. I've been on this journey for 12 years now. And knowing that there was like-minded people that I was meeting all over, you know, these beautiful types of offerings like Scott, this show, and I met some through other online communities that have brought me to you and to the Global Peace Tribe. So it's so beautiful that we aren't doing it alone. We can't live in that separation. And then we find the gratitude in all of the relationships that we've received and been able to experience in our life, and then bring it to these communities. What's amplified when we come together? And that just brings it full circle to what we're doing when we meet here 3 times every weekend, Scott. Your commitment to community relationship is the highest of anyone I know. And I see Abbott there. Yes. So you are the example that I really, really respect and admire. And thank you for bringing us together and the opportunity to co-host with you and just to bring my message about relationship as well and the importance.
No, thank you. I love everything you shared was just beautiful. Thank you. That's, yeah. I mean, life is relationship, Krista. And that's why I'm doing the relationships outside on Saturday mornings now. And it's what we're all about. And we all need each other because it's time for humanity to awaken, very much as Omashar's song, talked about. It is time, and we need each other. We need to be harmonious with each other around that. So I actually kind of love that almost you've set the tone for today's show, because it really is all about relationship. We're coming together online, and soon we're going to be coming together in person. And that's very, very beautiful. So thank you. And Krista is going to be tracking anybody's questions that come up in the audience. Susan just wrote, I never met people like you all before. Oh, well, hopefully that's a good thing. I guess it could be interpreted multiple ways. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Hey, speaking of unique people, let's go to the wonderful, wild, mystic Abbott Jerry. I'm going to add him. And I'm going to keep you on camera for a moment, Krista, because you might have a question for Jerry. You've seen him, but for anybody who doesn't know, Jerry is one of our longtime friends. He's been on the show a few times. He's almost always there. He's dancing. He's the first one up dancing. He and Jeff Coldbrook and Eleanor Joy are kind of 3 dance leaders. And Jerry is genuinely the abbot of the Mystic Monastery. It's a 10,000-acre ecclesiastic nation. Jerry, did you know, Krista, that Jerry actually has 3 seats at the United Nations, because his church is recognized as one of only 5 ecclesiastic nations on the planet. The Vatican being the most famous, but he has his own little junior Vatican going on.
This is incredible. Tell us more, Jerry.
Well, it's to sum it up, I would have to say Saint Germain has been working on this project for hundreds of years, and we just happen to be in the waterfalls of grace that came. Can you imagine 10,000 acres on an island that had never been claimed? Ever. I mean, on an island, that sounds crazy. I would like to say a couple of things about relationship as it comes from the Amazon. In the Amazon, when we're doing our spiritual work, they say we have 3 areas we must work in. First is the relationship with ourself. And Krista and so forth have been highlighting how important that is. And then the next, because that's first, the next one is our relationship with our source, because our source relationship can't be correct if we don't have a healthy relationship with ourselves. And then the third area of relationship that they talk about in the Amazon is our relationship with our equals. And so that's kind of a little piece about relationship that the Amazon brings to us. Our monastery is
equals.
Yes, that's all their brothers and sisters and trees and oceans and everything. Yes.
I love that, because it is true. It's so important for us to be connected to self, connected to source, and connected to each other. And all those relationships, to make sure we're putting attention on all of those relationships. I think Wowza in her beautiful opening expression talked about taking care of nature as we are nature. And for that to be our nature is to take care of nature. And I know you have a deep, deep love of Mother Earth and nature. As we see, the photo behind you is from your property.
Yes.
And I know you have a deep love of Mother Gaia.
Yes, and from the monastery point of view, I feel that the biggest deficiency that humans have on the planet right now is a deficiency of nature.
Mm.
Because when we take monks into the nature and don't say nothing, just leave them there for 3-4 hours, they connect the dots all by themselves. They'll need no book, they'll need no teacher. The nature will do it. Yes. Excited.
You're absolutely right. I spend too much time in front of a computer, and luckily, the places where I stay, there's nature very, very close by.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
And I just have to keep going outside and like, oh yeah, look at how beautiful the sky is and the trees and all of that. So
Yes. I do have a gift that I'm going to give in Sedona to the family of tribe of ours that comes.
Well, tell us about that. I was just going to ask you.
In the 1980s, we heard about a legend of what was called the Grandmother Cave in Sedona, and nobody knew where it was. They just thought it was a legend. And I took my tribe at that time. We were called the Blue Angels in Sedona, and we spent hundreds and hundreds of hours on a 1,000-foot cliff trying to find the entrance to this cave. And it wasn't until the rain actually brought water through the cave that we were able to follow the water back up to the mouth of the cave. And it's a fantastic cave. If you've never been in a cave where you can't tell whether your eyes are open or closed, this is going to be an opportunity for you to do that.
Wow. That is going to be pretty exciting.
Yes.
So how's that sound to you, Krista?
I'm in. I love caves, actually, and I've been to a few in Arizona, but not any in Sedona. So this will be a fun adventure to look forward to. It's on my calendar.
Many of the people who live there don't even know it exists.
So
Yeah,
do we bring
I got to bring
headlamps?
Luana on. Luana, because Luana lives there. Luana, do you know about this cave? And you muted, love.
Mystic Abbott, I have heard about this cave. However, I have never been. And it is only in the great mystery of mysteries that it is out there for me. And I am ready to take you by the hand and have you lead me through.
Yes, and you will be able to share it with more people then.
Yes. Oh my gosh, my great honor.
Yes.
For sure.
That's really fun. Well, while we've got Luana with us, Luana is our cosmic concierge. She's helping us kind of organize. And when I have a question about Sedona, I go to Luana. So Luana, share with us and our wonderful Global Peace Tribe a little bit about you. I know you have beautiful offerings that you give to the world. So tell us more about yourself.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, firstly, I'd like to appreciate our great Amishar. Amishar, your music is great medicine. I can speak for myself and also for everyone else here, truly. And to highlight Wowza and Jerry and our beautiful Krista, I too have a very, very emotional relationship with the great divine and myself first. And I love what Jerry said, to have the relationship, the juicy, real, embedded relationship with self first, then with source, and then with our other brothers and sisters. Oh, that so resonates with me because that's what I've been practicing for a number of years now. So living in Sedona, I am a single woman surrounded by millions and millions of ancestors. And that is what gives me my medicine, knowing that I am doing the work that they have been asking all of us to. They have been waiting for us. And here we are in this global awakening, and we are ready to share all of the goodies with everyone else that we receive from our ancestors and the great divine. In Sedona, I live with 10 felines. And I promise you that once you enter my healing temple, you will never know I even have one. And I have 2 pups. And right now I'm looking and gazing out at the 3 majestic mountains that were carved by our great divine, God and Goddess themselves. I am looking at the Bell Rock right in the middle. And then off to the side is Castle Butte. It literally looks like a castle. And then to the right is Court Butte. And every now and again, I receive a gift of envisioning and seeing from my own eyes and soul my ancient Apache tribe, because I do come from the Apache roots, climbing those amazing mountains. I see the brown skin, the long dark hair, and the wind softly blowing at them, including them to rise up. And it just brings so much joy to my heart that through that imagination, the image, that it does come true, the peace. One of the gifts that I have been offering through the gift that I received from our great divine is the laying on of hands. I do a specific massage healing, and it is likened to the ebb and flow of the ocean's waves. So it's not just me moving on you, it's me moving with you. Like I am holding you, rocking you. And the waves of the inside of yourself, your sea of love, are creating this magnificent wave to where it loosens up anything hard within you. The hard feelings of anything but peace. So if you feel hate, if you feel unforgiveness, if you feel a lack of what you truly desire, we motivate your body temple to really feel that in action. And coming here to Sedona, you're going to be walking on this red dirt. And this dirt is so healing. It's thriving with the ingredients that we all have been seeking. And so coming together, I will be at your service, and I really encourage you and invite you to reach out for me, because together we will make this experience one of the best you've ever had.
Wow. Thank you so much, Luana. I just love, your energy so much. And for anybody who doesn't know, while you were talking, I actually pulled up.
There it is.
There it is. This is Bell Rock. And for anybody who hasn't been to Sedona, and of course, I recognize that most people watching this show are not going to be with us in Sedona, and we are going to live stream and kind of bring Sedona to you as we do with the Awakening World. But throughout Sedona, there are all these rock formations, and there are probably a dozen amazing monuments, if you will, that were carved over thousands and millennia by, there used to be oceans. And so it was the oceans and the water that created these amazing rock formations that are very red and orange. So this is part of what our beloved Cosmic Concierge was sharing, that she looks right out of her backyard. And that is one of the great things about Sedona, is almost everywhere, wherever you look, there's one of these formations. So thank you. I want to just share that, and thank you for giving us that. Go ahead.
And Scott, I want to share something very magical about the Bell Rock. Hundreds of years ago, our ancient Indian brothers and sisters would not climb the rock just to climb it. They would carry the dying to the rock so that our great beloved ancestors could be there while they transitioned into the great mystery. And also they would carry the women giving birth, another form of transition, to where right at the foot of that Bell Rock, babies would be born. And our ancient Indians did not live close, even like I am living close. I feel a bit guilty about this. They lived near the water, clearly their source of water. And so they would only come to these amazing carvings and gifts from our great beloved in times of extreme celebration. And that included transitioning into the great mystery.
Thank you for sharing that. I had heard a little bit of that, but I didn't know most of what you shared. So thank you for sharing that. It was very, very beautiful. Wow. There's such an abundance of amazing people that are part of the Global Peace Tribe. And I'm going to introduce you to one of the great couples of the Global Peace Tribe, one of the great couples of this planet. And of course, I'm talking about Andrew and Connie. And they are both remarkable souls. There's so much. So just as you look at these two people, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a taste of who they each are. Andrew is an inventor, author, filmmaker, photographer, and futurist. He's the co-author of The Trust Frequency, which is 10 assumptions about the new paradigm. He is the inventor of the carbon capture module, the Enviroplex, and the Bailey Synergy Tower, longtime student of consciousness, community, and climate, and married in partnership with beautiful Connie, who is also an author and filmmaker and photographer and futurist. And she has over 20 years working with visionary Native American elders, co-authored the book that we talked about, The Trust Frequency, that you just saw with Andrew. And that's just a little bit of who they are. And so I always, you bring so much wisdom and so much magic to us. So first of all, welcome. Thanks for being on our Sacred Sunday show. Thank you for coming all the way from the Hamptons to Sedona. And what would you like to share with us today? You have such an incredible wide rainbow of options. What do you want to share with our audience today?
Say something?
Yes.
I would just like to say that you may not know this, but it is our 19th anniversary, not of our wedding, because our wedding hasn't occurred yet. We're getting married on our 20th anniversary. You can do the math. But 19 years ago, right now, we met at Omega Institute, just upstate from here, not too far away. And one of the very first things we did together was to come to the Hamptons International Film Festival, which is going on right now, right where we are here in East Hampton. And the friends we're staying with are part of the founders of that film festival. So yeah, it's just wanted to say that. And this beautiful woman has been my partner these 19 years. It feels like not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. 19 years, good heavens.
And we got right to work. We were invited back 5 years later to the day practically to Omega to screen our film In Search of the Future. What do the wise ones know? And that we filmed in Africa, Mexico, the US with wise ones that we've known for 50 to 70 years, not 50 to 70, 20 to 40.
40 is a good number.
And these elders spoke things to the camera that they'd never spoken before because they trusted us. And one can watch that online at insearchofthefuturemovie.com. And our work is all about consciousness and shifting frequencies into higher frequencies where there's more information, a whole new reality exists. So we bring tools for people to shift their vibratory level and their frequency through what we have is an online course called The Dance of Souls, the Relationship Revolution. And we apply the trust frequency principles. We have a construct on the nature of the universe that takes us beyond duality, beyond victim perpetrator, beyond right and wrong, beyond good and evil, which is a huge leap, but it takes us into understanding that everything happens in our lives for us, not to us. And that's easy to say, but we have a construct on the nature of the universe that helps us understand that everything is love. There's only love, there's only free will, there's only the journey to wholeness, to self-love and self-acceptance and alignment with our divinity and our purpose. So when we take those things as absolutely true, we come to move from victim to beloved. We understand that we are loved by a conscious, loving universe that's responding to our free will request. That when we incarnated, we said, yes, conscious, loving universe, take me on my journey to wholeness. I want to be aligned with my divinity 100% so that I bring all of me to the party.
See why I adore this girl?
So that's a little bit of a nutshell of what we're bringing to the retreat. We're going to be doing a play shop.
And speaking of Sedona, we used to live in Sedona. We spent about 9 years involved with Sedona. We had a retreat center in Page Springs. Anyone who knows Sedona knows Page Springs, extraordinary place. And we let that go 5 or 6 years ago now. And we've been based in Colorado in the foothills of the Rockies ever since. But we travel coast to coast and up and down every year.
We respond to the call. We go where we're called.
And you guys called
And
us,
you-
and we're on our way. Wednesday, we're going to start meandering westward.
Oh, fantastic. Which route are you going to take? 40 or 70?
We're probably going to take the 70 because I used to manage a band called the Humans from Santa Cruz, California. You're a Santa Cruiser.
Yeah.
Back in the late 70s, early 80s. And the bass player, Eric Geis, is one of my best friends. We're going to stop and visit with him on the banks of the Missouri River and probably see a few other people on the way. And then we're photographers, you mentioned. Our printer happens to be in Flagstaff. So next stop, Flagstaff, to get a bunch of stuff. We've got a couple of exhibitions coming up next year and the year after. And so a whole bunch of stuff to be scanned and that kind of work. Get that to them, then come to our amazing upcoming retreat here. By the end of the retreat, we'll have a whole body of work that is now being scanned. Connie, right here, is one of a very, very respected photographer and has been so for more than 50 years. This is the 50th anniversary of the publication of a very beautiful book she did in 1972. So anyway,
Wow.
It goes on and on.
And I use my photography as a vehicle of ideas, because for me, what's key and fundamental and only way out is up to higher consciousness. So my photography is a vehicle of those ideas. And and I wanted to mention too that Wowza, we've been working with Wowza over
Wowza.
for the whole year during the
Wow.
pandemic. We were on the connection field of the good of the whole. And we did an embodying the trust frequency. And Wowza did the embodiment part. And she is the trust frequency. You heard her invocation that expressed so much of this understanding of the trust frequency, that we are loved by a conscious, loving universe. There is only love. There is only one. There is only love. So we can turn it over to Wowza now.
Hey, Wowza, that's great. You're looking great, girl.
Oh, isn't this the synchronicity of it all? I mean, I had a friend to connect with God and things, the shows, and then this connection with you, and that we're both on the same time together is so remarkable to me. And I love sharing synchronicity, because the more we do, the more it happens. We're one mind. So it's like, here we are together again. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful. I gotta kind of just bring everybody on for a minute so we can see everyone. I'm not sure where Krista went, but here's our whole, all of our guests, and really what an amazing group of people. And, recognizing that all of us are older than 25. So, we've all been, doing this work and on this path of consciousness for quite a while. And I mean, when, I hear about, it's the 50th anniversary of the book that Connie wrote, I guess when she was 6. Really, isn't it amazing? Here we are all coming together. And I'm guessing that almost all of us have felt really from an early age that we were here for a purpose, that there was a divine purpose to our lives. But I know that I'm experiencing that it's like everything I did, I'm 66, everything I've done up to this point has really been preparation for now. Like, this is it. This is humanity's. That's why I'm so dedicated to the awakening world and to bringing the global peace tribe together. So I just love to hear, do any of you relate to that, resonate with that, and how that, if so, how that kind of fits into the trajectory of your life experience?
Absolutely. I saw that long ago, that absolutely everything we've done in our life, there hasn't been a wasted moment to bring us to this point for the work we have to do for this transition. So, and because for me, there's only the coming of peace on earth and heaven on earth. That's all there is. Absolutely. There's nothing else. There never has been anything else, never ever will be anything else. And everything serves that. So that's my reality. And just taking it down to a personal level, indeed, everything we've done and it has been done to us, for us, with us, etc., has served this very thing you just expressed, Scott.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to comment on that? Yeah, Luana.
So I will say that all of life and everything that we experience with it is an initiation. Even the good points, like our beautiful Andrew and Connie and their love affair that we can witness, and as well as some things that are not so pretty, the state of some of the world's affairs. And so all of those life's experiences that I have received personally, because I have this deep compassion, has created this holding, this, like, if I will use the word chalice, to create the power and the love inside as a brew. And what power is to me is that beautiful intention and choice. And so the intention and choice that we all have, that we're putting in this cauldron chalice, the beautiful riverbanks behind Jerry, is so amazing and so fruitful. And the ingredients are just magnificent for us to drink and allow it to grow inside of us. And then to share, of course, with our brothers and sisters that aren't so familiar. And you can tell that it just fires me up. Look at where we're at.
And Wowza's just finished a book. She's 86 years old. And
she's 39
amazing life on the planet. And
What? 86?
It's just coming out.
It's a secret.
It's ageless vitality.
I'm going to put the spotlight on her for a moment. I mean, this is unbelievable. Are you really saying this person is 86 years young?
3 weeks, in 3 weeks. I'm proud of it. I mean, I'm just, the whole thing you've been saying about we're just beginning, everything that ever happened to us, what is right here at this moment. And I mean, the superpowers that we have in every cell of our body, a universe itself. I mean, how on earth can we ever feel, like we're lagging in energy? I mean, my gosh, it's just too exciting to get decrepit now.
Well, I have a question. Wowza, can you share a few of your tips to this vitality that you could share with our audience today? I want to hear.
Ooh. Well, we've all been celebrating it, right? I mean, we've all been celebrating it. I think I will just share one story. One of the things that I'm really proud of doing. I was 20 years at Esalen Institute leading groups. And one of the things that I did with almost every person I was with, I had a chance, I would walk behind them through, let's say, a half hour of their life. And I would start to take on, their posture, their body language, the way they moved and sat and stood and talked, and going in the line of Huxley and having food and sitting down. I would become them. I would morph into them. That's the sacred actor.
Wow.
That everyone has a gift. If indeed there is no one we are not. Nothing we are not. That means every person that we encounter is a universe unto themselves and has a specific gift for me to not, as it used to be, oh, you'll get lost if you know how kids play, they're always morphing into each other's energy, right? That's how they play. And that was cut off. And it said, no, you've got to be yourself, and, no trying to play anybody else. Be yourself. Yeah, but our self has been, shall we say, a bit wounded. in our conditioned programming out there. You sit still, be quiet, who wants to listen to you? With all of it. And here is a human being that is totally uniquely different. And when I can enter into their very soul for just a moment, and it's not, us essentially acting, it's just picking up one little something, a glint in the eye, whatever it is, that little tilt to the shoulder. And I feel their life. I feel what I feel them. And in that moment, I come away expanded. And if I can become them, and then I can begin to slowly unravel into that essence of that universe of possibility, they see a whole other possibility. And the enormous energy and capacity that we have to be ageless and youthfully spirited. It's free spiritedness now. And that's what I'm excited about Sedona. What I was really saying, I see there's a whole new body language now. I mean, this is the playing ground of infinite possibility. And again, there's a tendency, oh gosh, waving the hands all over the place. Come on, calm down. But that's also part of it, not to calm down and hold because the rest of the world hasn't quite hit that energy yet. You have to be careful, a little careful there. But it's not careful so much. It's just, again, the blending. It's like, Christy, you have such a beautiful peacefulness. See, when I start with my energy just, woo, it's going out there, I can gaze at you just for one split second. And I come in to this beautiful calmness. And then I spot Scott over there. He's always got these eyes, right? I mean, they're so baby eyes. The whole world is out there. And it's the baby eyes that are seeing the whole world. And how can we ever lose energy with baby eyes? See that we're no more we, we're the we. We're the we now.
Wow.
That's
Wowza. These nuggets of wisdom are just so well received within my heart. And I know I can speak upon everyone here. And can everyone just feel the vitality that she chooses to embody? Every day is that choice. And we see that in you, that you are being that example by choosing life, by choosing vitality, health, and to connect with others. And, even if you read, the blue zones, right? All of these areas on the planet, those 5 blue zones where people live the longest to be the most centurions, over 100 years old, they are all in community. They're all in connection with others. So that really came into my awareness when you were talking, like how you are connecting to people, not retracting and staying home. You are, you are out wanting to connect and feel them and see them and embody what it is like to be them just by connecting to their energy field. Absolutely beautiful.
But I'd like to add one point, Krista, that I couldn't have done that if there hadn't been a massive critical mass. I am your wounded healer. I am your ugly duckling. I am, disfigurement. I am, don't get near her, you'll catch it. And I bless that story as well. I bless that story because I know deeply what it feels like to be dismembered, to be cut off from life itself.
Right.
I couldn't barely talk.
Well, and when we're in a world right now where there is so much dismantling and separation that we see on the external, to know that that is possible, that you've had that separation, that you've felt that, and then you've experienced this magical transformation to where it's come full circle. So beautiful. Thank you so much.
It's really a delight just watching the two of you interact. And thank you, Wowza, for that beautiful balance of inspiration and up energy, but also sharing a little glimpse into the vulnerability of your wounding. And I think for me, that's what I find most inspiring, that, you know, you weren't always what we're seeing right now, but we're getting a little bit of an inkling of the journey of your life. To go from feeling dismembered and disconnected and barely able to talk to who we're meeting today. What a journey. What an incredible journey. And I can't wait to see what the next 86 years are going to be like for you. Well, I'm going to bring all of our friends back up again. And Krista, I'm wondering, is there any questions? You're good with questions? Anything that's coming from our audience or anything that you have for our group?
Absolutely. You know, I know that we're all bringing such unique signatures to this event. So I want to also just touch on that, you know, what each person is going to be actually sharing. I know we're going to go on this incredible hike with Abbott. We're going to be bringing our canteens and a backpack. But I'd also love to hear if you put in our beautiful audience members, whether you're going to be live streaming into this event or whether you're going to be there in person, what are the things that you're wishing to come and receive? And maybe our speakers could share a little bit about, you know, how they kind of have some of those ideas in mind of what they can bring so that we can all have our cups filled at this event. So if you're in the audience here, please let us know what is your heart yearning for? What is your heart seeking right now? And while we wait for some of those things to come up, I'd love for any of our attendees, our speakers, to share some of the nuggets or the things that they're going to be bringing to share. Does anyone want to go first?
How about Connie and Andrew? Go ahead, Luana. I love that Luana jumped in, so go for it, Luana. But you have to unmute. Spotlight's on you.
Unmute. Okay, we did it.
All right, good job.
So what I have the availability to offer you is in-person, one-on-one with the 90-minute or the 2-hour intuitive massage healing. It's so much more than just a regular massage healing. With that, you receive an intuitive psychic reading. I have the capability of seeing symbols and receiving messages from within your body temple. And of course, we include all of your ancestors as well. So the room is full with embodiment. And something else I can offer is just me being in service, walking hand in hand with you on these beautiful grounds. And, you know, it's the sky's the limit, right? Not even the sky.
Oh, beautiful. What a wonderful offering. Thank you, Luana. All right, let's go to Connie and Andrew and hear what they have to, what they're going to be sharing. I got the spotlight on you both.
Well, I'm going to issue a warning here because it ain't easy. The dance of souls. We come here very often with work to do. We're in these relationships because we have work to do. And it virtually, Connie's my mirror. And I look into that mirror sometimes and I see stuff I don't want to see about myself. It's not easy, and it's about facing one's pain, one's wounds, one's history, one's ancestry, because these things are not new. They're not even in our lifetimes. We have inherited things that are difficult to deal with. So part of the trust frequency book and that work, which is very joyful and uplifting, this is applied trust frequency. It's called the Dance of Souls, where we agree to come here to engage with each other. And 19 years into the dance, how are we doing, darling?
We're doing pretty darn well. Yes, because we had a job we came here to do. So there's no shame, no blame, no victim, no perpetrator. We gave an overarching act of free will to come to planet Earth, and we told the conscious loving universe, take me on my journey to wholeness, my journey to self-love, self-acceptance, alignment with my divinity and my true purpose. And so we incarnate, we choose a family, we choose circumstances. Our soul actually magnetizes circumstances to get us wounds that take us on this journey of bringing in mirrors to show us our light, the parts of ourselves we love, but also our shadow, those parts of ourselves we don't love yet. And we've put into place defense mechanisms so that nobody can see what we truly feel about ourselves. And those defense mechanisms take many different forms, and they're very powerful, and they've gotten us where we are today. And our ego says, hey, I got here, I got you this far, so let's just cool it and get through the rest of life. But guess what? Our soul says, man, you came to become a divine being and to bring all of you to the party of life. And you said when you incarnated that you wanted to do this, you gave permission. So let's get to work. And so these mirrors come to us to show us those parts of ourselves we don't love yet. And we say to that mirror, go away, don't come back. You just hurt me, you insulted me, you did horrible things to me. And when in fact, once we move from victim to beloved, we understand that those behaviors, and when we see them as repeated behaviors throughout our lives, we know that those are the behaviors that have come to show us way deep inside what we don't love about ourselves. So that's what we're bringing to the retreat, is that process of accessing those defense mechanisms, recognizing them and letting them go, because it's tough, because they've gotten us where we are. We've made it this far, but there's someplace else our soul wants to go. And that is into bringing all of us to the party.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Incredible.
You know, Krista, I'm going to put her on the spotlight. She is an epigenetics coach. And, you know, you mentioned, Andrew, about how our ancestry plays into it. And I'm a strong believer that a big part of all of us who are watching right now, we're here to take the freedom, the incredible freedom that our ancestors have provided us through their amazing sacrifices, to heal the family patterns, to heal the ancestral wounding. And that's part of our dance of soul. So I'm just curious what the three of you have to say about that, because I think all three of you have some wisdom on that very important and important topic that we're just now culturally beginning to talk about.
Absolutely. So I'll pop in, and, you know, one of the most exciting things I think is when we see science and spirituality merge, and we know now scientifically that we carry in our DNA trauma from our ancestors, and it goes 7 generations back. There are scientific articles that prove this. And so what's so incredible is that sometimes the things that we might be moving through in this lifetime might not even be from this lifetime, right? So just the acceptance and awareness of that allows us to do the things that we have the capacity to do, to heal. And that's part of what I do as a certified epigenetic health coach, helping people align with their unique genetic blueprint so that they can be the divinity that they are. So they're not, you know, just from the specific thing of diet, for example, not just on one fad diet, but what if we each had that ability to receive our own blueprint, our own roadmap to how we optimize ourselves. So that's just from health standpoint. But we also know with the work I do as far as clearing the DNA, healing, ancestral healing, DNA activation, how can we actually be the highest trajectory of our existence on this planet in this incarnation now, so that we can be limitless in health, wealth, love, and all these things. And all these are possible. So to me, that's just such a huge key. And a lot of my journey and my own trauma has been around being on that hamster wheel of life, the programming that we're born into here, that we have to work hard to be successful. And then for me, there was also what I thought I had to look like to be successful. So there was a lot of things that I had to unlearn, reprogram, completely crash and burn and reset over the last 5-6 years, now on 3 years of really stepping and embodying this to become this. And of course, for me to be that example to others as they also step into that authenticity of their own unique DNA. So those are some of the things that, Scott, I'd love to bring to this event, to share on a deeper level with others, actually do some healing around this. Group healing, individual healing, all those things are available. And so let's turn it back over to Andrew and Connie, because I'd love to hear your comments on this as well.
I just want to say that we bring another thing too, and she's right here on the screen, and her name is Wowza. She is our embodiment coach, our sacred acting coach. She is the one who we did the whole year of Monday night classes, I called them. And we talked about all these deep and complex things. And then she just got us moving and bouncing on the big blue ball. And just look at her. I mean, she just emanates delight and inspiration and like possibility. Like, can I please be like that? You know, and it's so, Wowza, you're just the best. We love you.
Yes, and from my perspective, as you were asking, Krista, you know, we reincarnate as an evolving soul, and we keep coming back each time with a specific job we came on this life walk to do, which can be to clear the ancestral blocks around financial well-being. It can be blocks around whatever else our ancestors carried for us. But it is an evolutionary upward spiral if we choose to do the work. We have to actually choose it and do it and be it and clear out the lower vibrations to get us into this higher frequency that Wowza is speaking of, that we're all speaking of today. So I just wanted to throw that in.
Beautiful. And Wowza, what will you be presenting at the at our group at the retreat?
Well, I will have a book hot off the griddle and called Sacred Actor, Shape-Shifting into Our Universal Nature, Homo Amore Universalis. Again, opening up this loving being. And I wanted to refer again to this time at Esalen, where I used to do all the shape-shifting with people. What was remarkable in maybe, over 1,000 people, no one, almost no one, could actually recreate consciously their social role. The persona, we have all had to adhere to survive. And, we all have these little mannerisms and little ways and little tilts. And if we're head-centric, that head will come, will lead the show. And the heart has to go back somewhere. And then the pelvis locks and twists. Oh no, our aches and pains. That's the aging process that can start quite young. And this, one of the first processes is to become truly aware. Oh, I just have to see this little quivering voice in new situations, and how my shoulders tilt in and my heart, and I do these little pressings, ooh, and in walking, sitting, standing. What I'm saying is that, as this beautiful man said, what he brought through, first that relationship with ourselves, but I've also found that no one wants to see that social role too much, except what we put on, here I am. It's that's that dance. And to bring love into it, I mean, to bring, I want to say, artistry into our wounding. Every time everyone speaks, it was the wounding that actually dismembered very programmed modalities inside ourselves. It forced it to bust loose. And we were groping and having to find a new configuration of who we are. pattern disrupts. So when you take a pattern disrupt and you get off on it, you see the beauty, you see the poignancy of these aches and pains, and the inner struggle of the energy of the universe wanting to bust through every cell of our body and every covering over every cell of our body is going, oh, no, 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 no. That's the Star Wars. That is the aging process. That is our confusions and our anxiety. So this process of what I'm bringing is to absolutely come into homo amore universalis with it all. All of it is needing to be honored. All of our experiences need to be ennobled. And in that, boom, how do we want to make it up now? How do we really want to live together as a we?
I don't know about everyone else here, but I'm getting more and more excited to be together and to just your energy being so contagious. Thank you so much for bringing that. And it's going to uplift so many people at our retreat and beyond. And so, wow, thank you so much for bringing that. And what we can feel is your heart, that is what exudes out from the heart center, just your passion for helping people step into this embodiment that we see you embodying. So thank you for that service. And let's see, Andrew and Connie also, I'm just so excited to have you there. And we're going to bring on Mystic Abbott in just a moment. But what I wanted to do first was to just acknowledge some of our tribe here, our audience, who has shared a little bit about what they're looking for and what they're calling in, what their heart is yearning for this event. So we have Eleanor Joy saying, I'll be there in spirit and via live stream. And I would like to bring a well and large vessel of deep love, divine insights for all, sprinkled with laughter and fun. So calling that in. Thank you, Eleanor Joy. And so glad that you're going to be there on live stream. And Scott, I just know last night there was a question as well from one of our audience members about the live stream. Maybe before I take on the next two comments that we've received, could you share? Will the whole thing be live streamed? We know that Mystic Abbott will record the video of us going into the cave, which will be wonderful. But what can our audience expect if they are coming in via live stream?
Yeah, thank you. To be honest, we're putting it all together. I'm hoping that my good friends Alan and Son are going to join us. They do all of our videos, like the opening video you saw for our show. And they are the live stream experts. They, for example, did the live stream recently, 2 months ago, for Celestine Starr's memorial service that we carried here on the Awakening World. So if they're with us, we'll be able to do much more live streaming. If they aren't able to make it, I'm going to have to see if maybe our Cosmic Concierge can find somebody in Sedona that'll help us with that. And what we'll do is, once we have the final agenda of the different play shops put together, and I've got permission from the different presenters of who is willing to be live streamed, then we'll send that out. Now, for anybody that is already registered for this season of the Awakening World, you'll get an email that lets you know, and I'll keep you very closely updated of what we're going to be broadcasting. It won't always be the exact same hours that we normally do Awakening World. It'll be much more, but it won't necessarily be at the same times. And you'll get that. For those of you watching on Facebook who haven't joined our Zoom room, again, that's where you want to register. Go to globalpeacetribe.com, register, and that way you'll be on our email list, and you'll get all the updates about all the things we're going to be live streaming from Sedona. And so I'm imagining the majority of our play shops, we've got about 15 different presenters. And I'm imagining the majority of those will be live streamed out, but most of those presentations will be during the day. Now, of course, also happening for people who are in Sedona is the Psychic Fair on Saturday, the Superconscious Music Festival on Sunday, being put on by our friend Tangela. For those of you who are wishing you could make it and you can't, in a few minutes, we're going to learn about another retreat that Krista and her partner Nicole are putting on, happening a couple weeks later. And we'll learn about that in a little bit. But I want to go ahead and go back to some of the questions that are coming in from our audience. And I hope that gives you a little bit of a taste about the live stream. Most important thing is make sure you're registered and check your email.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Scott. And we'll look forward to just receiving that email with more details. So back to the comments from our audience. Karen Eisenberg saying, my heart is seeking to be a part of the Global Peace Tribe family. While experiencing the majestic beauty and incredible vortex energy and divine messages from the One. Beautiful, Karen, thank you. And then George Noble came and shared, there's some work involved here. For those of us who listen to Master Mantak Chia, realize some of the detail involved in doing self-love, bringing more of us into our bodies. And isn't that what Wowza was just talking about, right? Mindful of respective male and female shadow tendencies, too much mind or too much emotion feeling, respectively, attachment to those tendencies. So incredible too that we will be diving into some of these things about our relationship with self and with the divine feminine, masculine, all those different energies, you know, that are coming through right now for us to embody on a higher level. And then Wild Mystic Abbot Jerry, let's go ahead and bring him on. He shared to everyone, the gift I wrote for our reunion is healing the illusion of being separate from God is the basis of healing. For over 40 years, he found sacred teacher plants as the elegant method of removing this illusion of separation. Piercing the darkness of feeling separate from the creator is Jerry's definition of hell. Rumi said, if you feel separate, I say you live in an illusion. So powerful words, Abbot Jerry. Wow, this is incredible. And I'd love for you to share a little bit more about this. And, you know, the teachings, what I wanted to ask you as well is, I don't know a lot about the ecclesiastic church. So maybe there's some nuggets of wisdom that you could share with us here and kind of get us excited about what we might learn more about at the retreats.
Well, as far as the ecclesiastical nation, we are really blessed to be part of a order of knights, not the Templars, but the Hospitallers, who have been working for a very long time on the legal way to actually exert what we call the United States separation of church and state. Mm-hmm. And because of that rule and that law, we were able to establish ourselves as an ecclesiastical nation, which means the rules, it's kind of like the Vatican. It's an ecclesiastical nation inside of Italy, and the rules don't apply back and forth. Same way with us, since we are really focused, we are very focused on the monastic side of the spiritual teachings of the masters in that area, but we are the first monastery in the entire world in all history that is combining the indigenous wisdom of healing arts, combining together. And the way I say it is, it's kind of like the Star of David. One points up, that's the monastic direction. Everybody's talking about ascending, all that type of stuff. But the Native Americans is the point down, and they start every ceremony with getting permission from the Mother Earth and so forth. So it's like really putting the Star of David together into its full power. And they had studied also how, because once you've established a country, it really doesn't mean too much until somebody of significance recognizes your country. And so we went straight to the United Nations. Turns out that they had a special program for unrecognized nations. And we're part of 46 different countries that are part of this unrecognized nations at the United Nations. But we're the only one, since the United Nations has been founded, to be a new ecclesiastical nation.
Fascinating. This is so fascinating to me to learn just how this all works and how you've navigated it, and just brought so many to this beautiful opportunity for people to be part of it, and now to bring some of that wisdom to our retreat. I think I'm going to let you take it a little bit further.
So one of the things that happened is that the IRS was interviewing me as to, you know, what denomination we are and that type of thing. And I said, nothing. I didn't say anything. And the nice lady said, well, do you want me to put down here non-denominational? And I thought for a second, and I said, no, would you please put down all denominational? And she said, just a minute. She had to go and check in her files, and she came back and she says, we don't have any churches in that denomination. Are you starting a new movement? So, yes, movement of oneness.
Excellent. Well, we are so excited to have you and just to receive all of your sacred medicine and all the sacred medicine coming from all of our teachers and contributors. Scott, I wanted to ask you if we could answer a question. Matu had a question. If we register separately for live stream access, and if so, is there a cost for that?
No, I'm not planning on charging extra for live stream access. But it is important that everybody has registered for the Awakening World. Absolutely. And, invite your friends. I want to just say, it's so inexpensive to register, but we do need more support. And what would be really helpful is for everybody to really get your friends to join us. Let them know there's going to be a lot happening this month. We've got a lot planned. Obviously, in 2 weeks, we've got the Sedona retreat happening. Then the weekend after that is the Illuminate Film Festival. And I'm going to be very involved with the Illuminate Film Festival. I'm moderating panels. We'll be, and that's taking place both in Sedona and also online immediately after our retreat. And then after that is the retreat that Nicole and Krista are doing. And they'll talk about that in a few minutes. So there's a lot happening in Sedona. A good time to come to Sedona for a month. I'm going to do that. I'll be in Sedona from mid-October till mid-November, participating in Global Peace Tribe Retreat, the Illuminate Film Festival, and Krista and Nicole's retreat, the 11/11 retreat. So it's a good time to come to Sedona for a month. And of course, for those of you that can't come and be there, it's a good time to really be tuned in. And the Illuminate Film Festival is going to have some amazing films. And I'm really excited. In person, I'm going to be able to be working with some of my friends that I've worked with, like Sister Jenna is flying in from India. James von Prague, who I first put on television in 1994, famous psychic, is going to be there in person. And that's all part of the Illuminate Film Festival. While I was talking, I was able to pull it up here. And you can learn more about that by going to Illuminate Film Festival. Now that will require people, because they are their own organization, I'm collaborating with them. I'm going to be moderating some of their panels, but that is, you have to register with them directly to watch the movies or to come to the actual in-person festival in Sedona, which is going to be November 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then they go live and online with all their online films from November the 7th to November the 13th. And the movies they have chosen are just beautiful, beautiful films. And I'm going to start showing trailers for those movies on the Awakening World broadcast, so you can start getting a taste of it. So there's a lot happening. And again, come join us if you at all possibly can. I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, but it's a lot. It's a lot to get there, but once you're there, you're going to be very happy. So join us. There's going to be play shops, the Super Conscious Music Festival, time in nature, going to this incredible cave with Mystic Jerry. And of course, meals together, concerts. Omoshar will be there playing music. We're hoping to have Daniel Brinkley joining us. So there's a lot of really fun stuff that's going to be taking place. So please do join us. And what I think I'd like to do is we're going to bring on Nicole and Krista to talk about their retreat, but it's kind of a transition time. We've talked about what all of our different presenters are going to do, except for one of my favorite presenters, Omoshar. And of course, Omoshar is going to be there doing music. And I think this would be a good time for us to have an Omoshar song. And then we're going to hear from Nicole and Krista about their retreat taking place a little bit later in November, the first weekend or second weekend of November. Mm-hmm. But Omoshar will be there playing music. And Omoshar, you keep laying these new songs for us.
I know. I've got I've got a deep well of material, and I don't consciously. I do consciously. I don't think what song to bring. It just says play this, play this, play this for each show, and I go okay. And through the years that I've been traveling around the world, I've played my, just to brag a little bit, I've played my music in 33 countries. 33 countries, amazing, over the last 2 decades. And always I've just let Spirit choose the song, and everyone goes, well, how come you chose that song? It's so perfect. And so here's another perfect song called "The Wonderful and the New." I've already, my mind said play this song, and Spirit said no, play this one. It's called "The Wonderful and the New," and it's about us walking into the new. It's a message from Creator, and it's about you'll never walk this way again. Everything that doesn't serve, just let it go. Lay down all of your guards, because your loving hearts will lead the way. So deep breath.
You'll never walk this way again. Lay down all your guards. Your loving hearts will lead the way. The door is open. The wonderful and the new is waiting patiently. Take the step and you will see all you've been dreaming. Now is the time you've been waiting for so long. I've been holding you through all ages, knowing I'd be with you once again. You'll never be alone again. Please take my hand in yours. Your loving hearts will lead the way. You're my creation. The wonderful and the new is waiting patiently. Take the step and you will see all you've been dreaming. Now is the time you've been waiting for so long. I've been holding you through all ages, knowing I'd be with you once again. And now is the time you've been waiting for so long. I've been holding you through all ages, knowing I'd be with you once again.
Beautiful, beautiful.
There's one line I switched in my mind for some reason. If I get into my head when I'm singing, the earthly me conflicts sometimes with the divine me, and it was, I love you just the way you are.
Mm. Wow, that is beautiful. And, you know, Karen Eisenberg just wrote, and sums it up so beautifully. She just wrote, your loving heart always sings us divine melody medicine.
Thank you so much.
Beautifully stated. I'm going to put Karen on for a minute. Beautifully stated, Karen. Absolutely beautifully stated. And Karen, you are already such an important part of Global Peace Tribe. Karen is one of those people, she and Eleanor Joy are always just dancing so beautifully. I love watching, I'll bring Eleanor Joy up for a minute too. I love watching the two of you dance and move to the music. It's always really exquisite. Thank you so much. So one last time, I just want to encourage everybody to, if at all possible, come to our retreat in Sedona. Make it happen. If you have questions, we aren't going to be in one specific hotel. We have a large house that I've rented, an Airbnb house, and we've got like 2 beds left. And so a lot of the people will be staying in the house, and we'll do some of the events there. And then there's going to be some events at restaurants at different locations, but it's all within driving. And there is a shuttle that Tangela has arranged. So for people that fly into Phoenix, let us know and we'll do our best to arrange for you to be picked up. For people that drive in, great, you'll have your own car. For people that don't have their own car, you'll be, car sharing with those of us with cars and shuttling. So that's how we're planning on doing it. And it's going to be really, really fun. So hope to see you there. I am now going to bring on, I'm going to go back to, because I know a lot of you can't make it. So for those of you who can't make it to our Global Peace Tribe retreat, never fear. You have a little more time to figure out a way to get there. And here's Krista. And Krista has been putting together an amazing retreat with her partner, Nicole. Do you want to introduce Nicole for us?
I certainly would. And Scott, just a reminder, we were going to stop the recording and restart. So we have 2
Already
videos
did that, sweetheart. Already done.
You're so on top of it. Welcome, everyone. And welcome, Nicole, my divine partner in co-creation of the Gates of Heaven 1111 event that's being held over the most powerful manifestation portal of the year. And these portals happen throughout the year, and they are incredible opportunities for us to set intentions, to bring forth what it is that we want to create collectively in this world, and also for ourselves individually. And Nicole and I met during the pandemic through an online community. And ever since, we've just noticed so many ways that we can support each other, how many sister wounds that we've healed together, and now how we're bringing together this incredible force of love to the world through what's called the Gates of Heaven 1111. It's presented by Heaven on Earth, which is Nicole's entity. And so exciting to be able to bring together many different luminary speakers to help people embody this frequency as well of what it is that we are here to do, how we actually embody these new energies that's coming available and online in the new earth, and how it's coming through us and how we express it as us, right? And Scott, we are so thrilled to have you as one of our featured speakers to bring in the topic of relationships at this event. So for the 3 of us to come together here today to share this with your tribe, the Global Peace Tribe, during the Awakening World Show is just really special. And it's so exciting that just leading into this, we have so many things going on in Sedona. I'm planning to be there for a whole month, as I know you are, mid-October through at least mid-November. We're going to be starting out with the Global Peace Tribe retreat over the 21st to the 24th. That weekend, we have the Soul Search Psychic Fair on Saturday. We have on Sunday, the Super Conscious Music Festival. I mean, all of this put together, for all of us to come together. And then following weekend, we have the Illuminate Film Festival. And then that following week, the 11th or the 9th through the 11th of November, that is when we're having the Gates of Heaven 1111 event. So there's just so many things that are culminating on the 11/11 by the beautiful opportunities people have to come to Sedona and participate in as much or as little as they can. But it's so beautiful that we have all these opportunities and options. So I'd love to introduce Nicole, my sacred partner. And Nicole, would you like to just share a little bit about your event? And then, of course, we want to hand it to Scott to share a little bit more about what he's going to be bringing to the gates of heaven. And I'm going to bring up in just a second, whenever you cue me, the website too, so we can show everyone a little bit about what they can find on our website.
Thank you so much, Krista. And thank you, Scott. It's always a pleasure to be here. You have such a amazing, tapped in, tuned in, turned on tribe. And really, that's what this event that we're creating, Heaven on Earth, is about. And I just want to say, yeah, Krista I did a retreat last year, and she showed up as my divine partner. One of the topics we're talking about on day 2 is how to collaborate and how to be in relationship in the new earth, in the heaven on earth energy. And she's a perfect example of that playing out in my life. So yeah, just to tell you a little bit about the event, the idea of heaven on earth, I moved to Sedona about 2 years ago, and I truly experienced heaven on earth here. I spent about a year just healing and playing and experiencing, the frequencies, the ecstatic dances. The community here is so incredible. And I realized it was my life's purpose and life's mission to bring that energy and that frequency and that love to more people. And I feel that we're in a time like no other to really crystallize that into the DNA. And so this event is a three-day event with a fourth optional day. Day 1 is all about acknowledging where we've been, really releasing the old paradigm systems and traumas, but recognizing them and embracing them so that we can release them and activate the energy of heaven on earth. And where are we going? So that's really the day 1. And then each day builds upon. So day 2 is all about connection, collaboration in the new frequencies. So how do we relate to self? How do we relate to other? How do we relate to our sacred partners if we have a sacred union? And how do we operate and flourish in community? And so that's the day that Scott's going to be sharing with bringing his wisdom around relationship. And we have, I know Larissa Stowe has been a guest on your show many times. She's a beloved sister. She's actually staying next door on the property again. And she's amazing. She's going to be bringing her principles of community and bringing the music and weaving all of that together that day. And then we'll have a panel where we get to talk about this, and the people that are there get to ask questions and participate. And I'm a big fan of experiential learning. So there's a lot of different multidimensional layers built in each day. We have some people just speaking, and we have activities, we have music, we have frequency, we have dance, we have movement, all of that juiciness. And then culminating on the 11/11, which is the gates of heaven. This came in as a true download from Metatron. Like the 11/11, we're walking through the gates of heaven. We're bringing that frequency in. We're learning how to manifest in our DNA together in the new frequency of the quantum field. And we're bringing that home in true celebration. And the end of that night, we have a New Earth cosmic costume ball. So we get to play. I'm a big fan of playing in the frequency as well. And then on day 4 is just an optional Sedona adventure day. And we will have an ecstatic dance on the Red Rocks that day, and people will be able to choose an adventure of their choosing. We'll have several sacred guides for that. It's just going to be really beautiful, and everyone will go home with the energy in their bones, in their DNA, in their body, so they can share it with their community. That was the vision, was that we bring together our light leaders, our soul family, so we can amplify this, connect to it, and then bring it out, blast it out to the world, and bring it home with us and live in that energy. That's really what we need more than ever, is to really embody and ground this energy. So we go up expansive and just as deeply down into the roots of Gaia, grounding this energy. So that's a little bit about the event. Love to have any of you there to co-create this with us. This really is a co-creation of energy. It's not about It's not about the sage from the stage. This is the shift that we're in, and this event embodies that energy. Thank you, Krista and Scott. So
Absolutely.
excited about this.
Yeah, Scott, I'd love to hear from you a little bit about what you wish to bring regarding relationships. And, we want to provide tools, for people to go home with to actually start embodying, this frequency. And so that's what we're so excited about having you and all of our other beloved speakers at this event. So would you love to share a little bit about what you're bringing?
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to say it's amazing the faculty you've put together for this. Again, most of the people that are going to be part of your faculty have been on the show, so I've got a chance to know them. And they're remarkable. People such as Raquel Spring, who's like the best, and I've been in this world a long time. She's the most amazing astrologer. Raquel will be there. You just mentioned Larissa Stowe, one of our absolute favorite musical artists and one of my favorite human beings on the planet. And that's just 2 of, like, I think 12 now you're up to, of faculty members, and each one of them is really quite extraordinary. So I just really want to emphasize that it's going to be an amazing group of teachers and luminaries. And yeah, we all have our own expertise. And we're all learning from each other. I learned from Raquel, and I learned from Larissa, and they learned from me a little bit about relationship, and we all are learning together.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I always, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but before I teach, I actually kind of just drop in and I ask Spirit to show me what to talk about, what to teach, and I tune into the zeitgeist of the group. And so honestly, I never know what I'm going to say until it happens. I mean,
surprise. We love it.
It'll be about relationship. I love what Jerry said earlier today. The big 3: relationship to self, relationship to source, relationship to each other. So I can promise you it'll be in that field, but it will be really tapped into the group and what the group needs to hear and wants to hear at that time. And of course, I always like to take questions and answers. And that's what I do, as you know, Krista, because you were in my relationship satsang. But very tool oriented, I will say that. As it says just above me, powerful tools of transformation, learn and practice. So that's what we will be doing. We'll be learning and practicing relationship tools that have developed over the years that have worked with thousands of people.
Wow. Well, Scott, I really like hearing from you, just your approach to, I don't know exactly what I'm bringing until I connect in with what this audience really is going to need. What is their heart calling, yearning? And isn't that where we're going? Yeah. Where we're not, bulleting everything we're going to speak about at a talk. Yes, you bring your wisdom of many years of doing this work, so you can pull from all these tools and nuggets that that you have within you and whatever's coming through from the angelic realms that day. So that's exactly what this event is about, is connecting with this new way of being. So you're so in alignment and such a leader in that. So we thank you. And I'm just going to go ahead and share screen so everyone can feel the frequency of this event, what we're here to anchor and imprint. One of our speakers the other day said that they went on the website, and when they were hearing about this event, they really felt this is a clarion call to those who are here to bring the new earth. And right here, if you go on our website, Scott put his link in the chat. You can enter your name and email and actually receive a download of an interview we did with Raquel Spring, 4th generation astrologer, talking about this event and what we can expect to come in the age of Aquarius. She brings in a few things and a sneak peek around that. So here we are, November 9th through the 12th. And the gateway opens in 30 days. So it's right around the corner. Yeah. And then here's Nicole and I talking about our co-creation. But Nicole, why don't I turn it over to you just to point out anything here on the website that we would like to highlight. These are the things that everyone's going to receive.
Yeah. Part of what we're releasing as we move into this new paradigm is the codependency, the old ways of being, and stepping into the new and activating. We're going to be, we have Aurora Lunastar, who's been on with you guys before, and she's bringing the frequencies and the light language and the beautiful sound bowls and the voice. And then we have Melissa Fike, who's an amazing Akashic records, and she really works on the quantum field. So we have Raquel and then her beloved Isaac, and they're in a really beautiful sacred union. He's going to be sharing he's more of the scientifics behind the quantum field. And then they're going to come together and share about their union on day 2 and how they operate differently. And he's a truly balanced masculine as well. And it's really beautiful how he honors the divine feminine in their relationship. So they're going to share about that. Sandra Biskind is she's a speaker we just added on from Krista's realm, and she is incredible. She's going to be doing a quantum correction for us on day 1. We also have the very well-known and amazing Suzanne Ross kind of opening up with her big talk about virtuality, which is she's sort of bringing us through the matrix and how we operate in this new energy. So she's kind of kicking off our day. Each day we will have our friend Laura Quirk. She's amazing. She's a Soul Search Platinum member as well. She is a really powerful source channel for miraculous healing. And she's going to be doing a specified miraculous healing for each of us, each of the days. The first one's going to be around the releasing the old trauma, the old paradigm and the wounds, anything that we're carrying from our lineage and anything that we're ready to just let go of to make space for the new frequency. And Leah Lovely is from a world past for me. She's one of my dear sisters, and she's helping us to move from fear to love the first day. Sarah Strong and I are going to do something in the frequency of play and joy and bliss being the currency of the new earth. We have our beautiful Jeremy. He's a dear brother, a sacred masculine that's going to be helping with the food for the VIPs, and we're going to have some options each day. What else, Krista? Yeah, this is...
Let's add that, we also have a live stream option for this event.
Oh, yeah,
so you can unlock your ticket here. We do have the early bird going just for a few more days, 2 more days. It ends on the 11th. And then we also have a VIP ticket for all the extra perks. But then you can see if you are wanting just to enjoy this from the comfort of your home or watch the replay, you can also purchase that. And Scott, your community, we have a special code. It's called Awakening.
Awakening, yes.
For a coupon toward the price. And we also have a 2-pay that's just going to go for the next few days as well, if people want to do that as an option, just budget-wise. So I think that really covers most of what we're doing here. We have a beautiful light leadership team too, different leaders that are going to come to support the event. Again, in the spirit of collaboration, we don't have to do it alone. So we really want to create this event where there's so much support, not only for Nicole and I as the co-creators, but for every single person there to know that they are supported. And we're just so excited about this lineup and team. And thank you, Scott, for acknowledging the people that we brought together. And really, they're the ones that have received the call to be here, to be part of this imprint and what we are doing to create this whole new platform for humanity.
Yes, we're so excited. And we have just brought on another masculine, Jacob Massey. Do you know him, Scott? He's amazing. He's one of the best healers I've ever been to.
I met him when I was in Sedona, and he's beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, yes. He sees everything in energy. So he's going to be sharing about how he sees the world, and also he's going to be sharing about what he sees for the collective, for the masculine, and some of the things that he's seeing to help support on day 2. So we have quite a lineup, and we're just so excited to have you with us, Scott, in full support. And any of your tribe, we'd love to meet you and get belly to belly and heart to heart with you, and
fantastic.
Really anchor this in.
Well, it's going to be great. And thank you for pulling it all together. Thank you, everybody. We're going to conclude our Sacred Sunday show, but a reminder that next weekend we've got some fantastic stuff happening. We're collaborating with Humanity's team next weekend, and they're bringing in some amazing presenters. So thank you, everybody. It's been quite a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Nicole, Krista. And I'm just going to briefly bring on our beloved guests. Wowza. Wow. She was just amazing. And of course, our wonderful friend, Jerry Anderson, the wild abbot of the Mystic Monastery, Connie and Andrew, of course, beloved Omashar, and our cosmic concierge, Luana. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of today's show. And much love. Goodbye. Good day. And we'll see you all soon, either live in Sedona or continuing through our amazing ways that we connect. I'm going to go to gallery view one last time. Just everybody, we can see anybody who has their camera on. Welcome, everybody. Much love to you.
Ah.